awesome.
I know, they're so excited to have you, them. They're excited
Awesome.
to talk
I'm really
to you.
excited to be here.
Okay, well, thank you for coming.
Of course.
All right, so guys, you guys know the deal. Just put your questions into the chat, and then I'll filter through them, and I'll just ask them to Myles, and then he will answer them. Yeah. So just put all your questions in the chat, and then I will filter through them. Now, I know you guys probably know him already, but I'll just let you kind of just share a little bit about you and who you are if they don't know you.
Yeah. My name is Myles Erlick. I play Noah on The Next Step because probably most of you know that. I've been dancing my entire life since I was 3 years old. My first professional project, I was the lead star in Billy Elliot musical on Broadway. And then I joined The Next Step for 6 seasons, along with just doing plenty of other things. I play music, I produce, I act, I sing, I dance. I try and do everything. I love it all. And yeah, I love what I do, and I'm grateful for it. That's a little bit about me.
Perfect. Okay, sorry, I'm just going, there's a lot of questions. So I'm just kind of picking and choosing, because a lot of them are the same, so I'm kind of going through them.
Yeah, no worries.
People are asking how you do your jumps. So all your 540s and regattas.
Yeah.
I know some of us might not know that terminology, but how did you strengthen your jumps to get them to where they are?
Yeah, so with all the jumps, I think any jump in particular, it doesn't matter what it is, all of them, you need to have proper strength and proper technique in your entire body. And that comes from consistency and consistent training. And so throughout my years, I knew that that's what I needed to focus on, was just train and build muscle in your legs and everywhere to get the power to be able to kind of lift off the ground. Because with certain tricks, you need certain height and certain air time to be able to complete the move. So it's important that you have the power in your legs to push. And I did that by just training and just repetitions over and over and over. And, it took me some time to get certain moves than others, but I never, ever, ever give up until you get it. And then when you get it, you do it a million more times. And so that's just a little tip on the tricks.
Perfect. A lot of people are asking how your puppies are settling in. So why don't you just explain what happened?
Yeah. So for everyone who doesn't know, actually, I've been looking to adopt a dog for a while, actually. Quite some time. Briar knew about it, that I wanted to adopt a dog, but finally 2 puppies were rescued. They're 2 sisters and they're labs, and they were rescued. They were, I think they were found on the street, and they were rescued by an adoption center. And I connected with the adoption center, and it worked out, and I adopted both of them. I couldn't adopt one of them. I had to do both because they're sisters. I wanted to keep them together. And I surprised Briar with them. She had no idea I was going to do that. And she came to my house, and I was like, look what I got.
Oh my gosh. How are they doing? They're good?
Oh, they're doing great. Yeah, they're settling in. They're getting comfy. We're with rescues, you have to treat them, with extra love and extra care and make sure they're doing okay. But they're doing good, and they have each other too.
Cool. How did you get on to the next step?
How to get on to the next step. So when I finished Billy Elliot musical on Broadway, I did that for about 2 years. I finished when I was at 14. I had booked a commercial. I was doing this commercial, and the commercial I was dancing in it, and the choreographer for that commercial happened to be the artistic choreographer for The Next Step. And she came up to me when we finished the commercial that day and said, "Hi, we're going to be doing auditions for this new show coming along. We're going to be calling it The Next Step. I'd love for you to come and audition." And that's how I heard about it. I went to the audition, and the rest was history. And that's kind of where it started for me. It was kind of like that connection with that artistic choreographer.
Cool. What was your favorite part about filming West Side Story?
Oh, favorite part. So I also just in September last year, I just finished my first feature film, which was directed by Steven Spielberg. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it's he did a remake of West Side Story, and I was so lucky and grateful to be a part of it, part of the lead ensemble there, and it was absolutely incredible. It was 6 months in New York, filming all over, and it was honestly one of the best experiences of my life, and I learned a lot from it, and it was so cool. Yeah.
How do you stay motivated for eating healthy while training?
How do you stay motivated? Well, this is a hard one, but what keeps me motivated is that I love what I do, and that's so important. And I think regardless, for all you guys here, it will be easier to stay motivated if you truly love what you do, because you'll never, like for me, I say, I'm going to work if I'm going to the next step, but for me, it's not work. It's just like, it's part of my life. It's part of who I am. It's part of what I love to do. And that's why, when it comes to training, it's like, that's just part of what I need to do. And that's how, I'm easily able to stay motivated, and I want to push myself. And it's because I love what I do, really. So I think that's really important, no matter what you guys do, whether it is dance or, regardless, theater, soccer, football, doesn't matter. If you love what you do, you'll find a way to stay motivated.
And then how do you stay motivated to eat healthy when you're training?
When we're training, yeah. So that's always tricky, but that's why, for myself in particular, what I do with my diet is there's always 1 day or 2 days to have a cheat day, and that's where you can, I have the pizza, I have the burgers, have the fries, and that's why it kind of keeps the week. You have something to look forward to, and it's okay to kind of have those days to have that sugar, have a little bit. I think a little bit of something, something that's not so good is okay sometimes. And I know a lot of people think like there's a misconception there, kind of, where they think you shouldn't, but it's okay about 1 day. So I have a cheat day once a week, and that's what I can look forward to when I'm training, and it just keeps me on track.
Cool. How old were you when you got your 540?
I was 14 and 15, and it took me like 4 months. I joined a Canadian dance company actually when I was about 15, and I was 15, and all the dudes there had the 540s, and I hadn't really had any tricks, and I was so mad and so determined. I was like, I'm gonna get the 540. I'm gonna have the best 540 in the studio, and I got so I just got determined, and I went to work. It took me like, I think 3-4 months before I was like really got it like down pat, and yeah, I just got it. I've still been working it since. So
cool. Okay, what is the hardest move that you've ever achieved? And like it could be a trick, it could be a turn, like anything.
Yeah. I think one of the hardest ones was probably my B twist. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's kind of like you do a butterfly, but in the middle of the air you do a full twist and you land on one leg. That one was a tricky one to get. That one took me a little while, and I'm really stubborn when it comes to trying to get things. So it took me some time, and I was so determined to get it, but that was a really hard one for me to get. But once I did, it was so rewarding for me, and I was like, this is like, it just felt amazing. So, but the B twist, I'd have to say.
Cool. What is the best thing about recording music?
I love music. Music's been a big part of my life since I was a little kid, and it's been a big part of my family. And my grandmother taught me classical piano, and I just love music. And there's something about it when I'm recording and I'm producing. It's kind of like I go into my own world, and it's just kind of like one of those kind of like escapes almost. And I enjoy it so much, and I love it, and I love how you can really create whatever you want when it comes to making music. You have a blank canvas and you have to kind of create. And it's the same thing for dance when you're making a solo too. Like, it can go any direction you want, and that's what I love about music.
Awesome. What's the worst injury that you've had?
Worst injury? I was on my second big international tour for Next Step, and I think it was halfway through, and we were doing the boys group, and I guess during the routine I did a flip, and I landed weird on my heels, and it spun up to my lower spine, and I had to run off, and as soon as I got off, my legs gave out. I had no motion in my legs, my spine, something happened with my spine or something, and I had so much pain in my lower back that it was excruciating. That was probably the worst injury I've ever had. Luckily, it only lasted about 3 days. It happened to be that I badly pinched a nerve in my spine or something, and just from landing wrong. And that's why it's really important to have strong technique when you're doing these tricks, because so many things can go wrong. And from that, I learned what I did wrong. I was landing a little bit weird, and I learned from that, taught myself a little bit differently, and then moved forward, and never happened again. But that was definitely it.
Cool. Where would you like to see yourself in the next few years?
Where would I like to see myself in the next few years? Honestly, doing exactly what I'm doing right now. I love what I do. I want to continue acting. I want to continue making music. I want to have a few albums out. I want to be touring the world. I want to be meeting my fans. The list goes on. There's so many things that I know that I want to do in 5 years, and I'm just going to continue to do what I do and love what I do. So yeah.
Awesome. Where do you get your inspiration to write songs or write your songs?
Inspiration to write songs. Everything in life. So whether it's from I'm driving to an audition and I see something out my window or something like that could spark something, and I'll instantly write it down, or a tour experience, or even so simple as having dinner with your family and laughing with your family, like something so simple and little like that. I just get inspiration and ideas honestly from everything, and I just like to incorporate it to my music. And it could even be from a relationship that you have, a bad relationship, a good relationship, anything really can work.
Cool. What was your favorite music video to film?
Favorite music video? Well, I'm sure a lot of you guys know that a lot of my music videos I've done actually with Briar. So I just love in general doing music videos with Briar. They're so much fun, and she's kick-ass. But probably one of my favorites. I think maybe Serious was one of my favorites because it was definitely one of the first really important ones that I did, and it was with Briar, and it was kind of my first introduction to the music industry as well. So that was a really important one to me. And
cool. What do you eat in a day typically?
What I eat in a day? Definitely three main meals, and then in between I love healthy snacks. From almonds, walnuts, to protein shakes, to healthy snacks really in between that. So it's pretty basic, nothing too crazy really. It's just important to stay basic with that stuff.
Cool. How long does it usually take you to write a song?
That varies. That's a good question. It can take me a month to write a song. It can take me 10 minutes to write a song. And that's also makes it so fascinating to me when it comes to music, because that can happen. And even with producing a song too, when I produce a song, like I could start and I could finish a whole 3-minute record in legitimately 15 minutes, or I could be working on the same track for months and months, and it might not go where I want it. So it varies. It definitely varies for me.
Awesome. Any advice for getting into the industry when you're not very well known or don't have many opportunities around you?
Yeah, I think that particular question is a good one, because when you're not known and there's not a lot of opportunities, you have to get creative and you have to create your own opportunities. And that's what I did a long time ago. You just have to, I know there's a point where you're like, what do I do? How do I just get started? And the answer is you just gotta go. You gotta create the opportunity. You have to insert yourself in classes, insert yourselves in meetings with certain people. You just have to put yourself out there and realize that there's going to be no's. There's going to be people tell you that you're not good enough, and that's got to be used as fuel. You got to fuel that, and it's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you want to. For me, it made me stronger. It made me want to push harder. And you have to understand that just because someone's being negative to you doesn't mean you should give up. Absolutely not. It's in fact, I like criticism. I like when people tell me that I'm going to fail at something. It just pushes me harder. It makes me want to work harder. And I think that's a really good attitude to have, especially in this industry. But you just have to go for it and just start.
Well, who was your dance idol growing up?
My dance idol? I got to say this gentleman who was one of the greatest ballet dancers ever to live, dancers in general. His name was Mikhail Baryshnikov. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's a legend in the dance industry, and he was one of the greatest, I think. He kind of was a big inspiration for me when I was growing up.
Cool. What is an average day in the life for you during quarantine?
Average day in the life. Well, now with these puppies, it's getting up around 6:45 a.m., 7 a.m., and dealing with them for a little bit, getting them settled, eating breakfast, usually training. I know a lot of the gyms are closed now, so I have to do kind of home workouts, so I'm training around then. Running a couple of different errands, doing a lot of emails. Luckily, I have a whole recording studio that I built above my garage, a whole other area that I built, so I do a lot of work in there, getting a lot of content done, mixing, recording, finishing up music videos and edits and stuff. So I'm kind of just doing that doing that throughout the day, taking care of the puppies. I'm kind of like just a little bit everywhere, really.
Cool. 3 things you can't live without.
3 things I can't live without. Music, dance, and Briar.
Oh my gosh, that's cute. How about your family? I'll be included in your family.
And family, yeah, of course. There's one more.
Okay, let me see. Everyone's saying we should do a tour in the UK and Europe.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, as soon as we're good to go, I'm like, I want to get back out on tour. I love touring so much, and I want to hit UK, Australia. We want to hit the States. We want to hit Canada again. Like, honestly, everywhere. It's one of my favorite things to meet you guys and perform for you guys. So as soon as we can, we're there.
Do you prefer making your own choreo or learning new choreo?
A little bit of both.
From a choreographer.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Honestly, I love collaborating with people. Even when it comes to music, dance, anything really, I love collaboration. Because a lot of times, you might not always have the answer to something, and you might not always be the best or have the best choreo. So it's sometimes good to get a fresh pair of eyes in there, a fresh pair of brains in there to kind of just help out and see where it can go.
Cool. Will you always keep dancing?
I'll always keep dancing. I love dancing. I'm never gonna stop that, and I'm gonna keep dancing until I can't walk. So.
If you didn't play Noah on the next step, who would you want to play?
I don't know. Maybe West. West would be fun. I mean, he's got like springs in his legs. So that would be fun to play him. He's a joker a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the highlight of your career so far?
My highlight of my career is probably got to be being able to tour around the world on the next step, and being a part of a Steven Spielberg feature film. Those are definitely 2 highlights for me.
Awesome. Everyone loves you.
Love you guys.
Is your brother one of the voices for Paw Patrol?
He is, yeah. Yeah, Kingsley Marshall, my little brother, is he's the voice for Marshall.
He plays Marshall.
He plays Marshall. His last name is Marshall, but he plays Marshall. Yeah.
Okay. If you had to choose dancing, acting, or singing, which one would you choose?
Honestly, I could not choose. It's got to be all of them in one. There's no way that I would be able to choose between one. I just love them so much.
Okay. What was it like touring with TNS?
Amazing. Touring with TNS is the best, and we're all one big family, and being able to do what we love with the people we love is just a bonus. So it was incredible.
Oh. When does West Side Story come out?
West Side Story is supposed to come out December 18th this year. As of now, that's still the date. But honestly, anything can really change with COVID, depending on what happens with movie theaters, etc. But as of now, December 18th, 2020.
What is your favorite dance that you've done on TNS?
I think I answered this one. Blindfold, I had said.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
What was it like being Billy Elliot on Broadway?
What was it like being Billy Elliot on Broadway? Again, one of the greatest experiences of my life. I got to work and meet with Elton John and Stephen Daldry, some of the world's legends in that industry. It was incredible. I mean, I started on the first international tour in Chicago, then I went to Toronto to do the play, and then I went to New York Broadway. I learned that kind of molded me, and after that experience, I knew it was like, this is exactly what I want to do with my life, and perform and be an entertainer. And Billy Elliot taught me a lot of valuable things that I'm never going to forget. So grateful for Billy for sure.
What did you want to be when you were growing up? Did you know you wanted to be a musician or a dancer, an actor, or was there anything else that you wanted to be? You were in the industry?
Yeah. I knew that like this industry I wanted to take very, very seriously when I started Billy, which was about 11, 12 years old. But I had been doing it my whole life, and I loved it. But I also played a lot of sports, and I started playing rep soccer, which is kind of like an advanced elite kind of league for soccer to kind of prep you to be one day a professional. So I was playing a lot of sports too, and I love sports, but dance and the arts industry kind of just like took over, and it was just something that I loved so much, and that kind of just, I molded there. And my family was just so supportive too, because they just wanted me to do what I love. And I'm glad they did. And going towards the arts and music and dance kind of just was what happened with me.
Cool. How hard was it to adapt your lifestyle and career around COVID?
It was difficult, honestly. I think for anybody, regardless of your industry, it was difficult transition. No one would have thought 4 months ago that this was going to happen. No one would have thought that we would have been doing, classes on Zoom, you know what I mean? And talking and doing Q&As through Zoom. So it was difficult. But I think as a few weeks went on, the thing is the world, we all come together and we help each other, and we all went to social media to keep each other entertained, and we all adapt, and that's important. You have to adapt, right? If you just get caught up and you get worried about things, then you're never gonna be happy. So we all had to adapt, and we're doing what we're doing, and we got to keep moving forward.
Cool. Okay, I'll ask you just a few more. I know that we have barely any time left. Okay, let me see. Everyone's asking where your puppies are and if they're sleeping.
Yeah, they're downstairs. They're downstairs, but I think they're taking a little nap right now.
They're sleeping.
Yeah, I would think about next time though.
Sorry.
Go ahead. It's okay.
What's your favorite season of the next step, if you had to choose?
It's season 4. Season 4 is a lot of fun to shoot. It was a long one, but it was a lot of fun.
If you had to live in any other country, what country would you live in?
Italy. I gotta say Italy. It would be so much fun to live in, Rome or Venice or something.
Cool. Okay, last question. Would you ever do a music video for Did It Anyway?
100%. Yeah, I honestly, I love doing music videos. If I could do music videos to every track, I would. And eventually, one day I might. But I'm working on some more music videos right now, low key. So we got some stuff coming for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, Em. I know all the kids really liked listening to you.
Thanks, guys. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are all amazing. I saw you guys doing the improv and the dancing. You guys were honestly beautiful. I went through every page. So keep it up. Keep working hard and stay positive, especially right now. It's so important. And keep training, guys. You guys are gonna be amazing.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Great job in class too. And thanks, Myles, again for coming on and talk to them. I know they had a lot of fun and really enjoyed it. So hopefully I'll see you guys next week. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care, guys.
See ya.
Bye.